Hey everybody, welcome back to Liam's Hobby Room. My name is Liam. This is my hobby room. Today we're going to be painting and I'm going to show you my finished painted build of the GP01 full Burnern, so that'll be fun. This is a really fun kit. Despite its age, I really liked working on it. I did a review of this kit on the Gunpla network, so I'll leave a link down below where you can go check that out. But you can watch it get painted here, so I'm going to do that right now. Now before we start, I just want to say if you enjoy my content and if you like Gundam in general, like this video, subscribe to my channel Liam's Hobby Room for lots more cool Gunpla content. And if you want to get yourself some cool Gunpla, use my code LHR10 at bchobbies.com to get yourself 10% off any regular release Gunpla kit. That's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. So that's bchobbies.com. At checkout, use my code LHR10 to get yourself 10% off, and you can start building some Gunpla of your very own. So here is the Gundam GP01Fb snapped together. I didn't do any modification other than close the seam lines and replace the beam saber and manipulators, the hands, because they're weirdly big and very low detailed on the original kit. I actually like the proportions in the build despite the age of the kit. I know that's kind of a sticking point for some people because they know it's not going to be as articulated or have all the engineering and yada yada yada, whatever. I don't really care. I think it looks pretty good and I had a lot of fun working on it. I'm definitely wearing my nostalgia goggles though. Got those strapped on pretty tight, so I'm pretty excited to start painting. So let's get ahead and move on. I painted this kit with Mr. Color and Vallejo Model Color for some hand-painted areas. There was a small amount of masking to do, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. After that, I sprayed on some Mr. Super Clear 3 to give it a nice shiny gloss coat. Gloss or semi-gloss is actually a very important step before you add your decals and do your panel lining. This is because it provides a smooth working surface, letting decals and oils glide around on it and remain easy to clean up. The next phase of this is going to be panel lining with oil paints. Man, I really enjoy working with oil paints because they're so versatile and they remain workable for days. I can do a little bit of work and if I get tired I can just like cover up my kit and come back to it in 2 to 3 days and it's like everything's still workable. They make really natural looking panel lines, simulating the grit and grime that would gather in the places where the armored platings come together. Once I clean them up with a little bit of white spirits, these deposits will form delicate, kind of uneven channels of darker colors that would accumulate from repeated sorties into battle. Using some white spirits to thin down the oil paint, I can apply it pretty liberally with a brush, and if you've thoroughly glossed or semi-glossed your surfaces, you should notice how easily the oil paint flows in and through the channels. I'm also going to be doing some weathering here, and that's going to make tiny daubs of oil paint in areas that I want to discolor. Think of these spots as like receiving damage from heat or lasers and beams and other weapons. I tend to use colors like black, dark grays, browns, greens, and off-white to do these kinds of things, and then thin them down by blending them gently into the kit with my brush and some white spirits. The subtle tonal variation you can create can help your weathering tell a story of what's happened to your kit, where it's been. And that's generally what I try to do when I'm building and painting and weathering a kit, is I try and tell a story with it. It's not just like an anime robot, so not a lot of harsh black lines. I think of it as like a real world object, and that's what I try to emulate. I'm not always successful, but that's what I'm trying to do. And here is the finished build. I enjoyed working on this one. It was super fun, really satisfying. It let me relive this awesome series, and I ended up watching most of Stardust Memory again while I was working on it. And I tried to simulate this Gundam's look from the show. It really didn't get much time to rest after coming to space in the Albion. It was constantly being repaired and thrown back into combat against Ana Volgato and the Delaz fleet. Like I said in my review, this thing is not articulated or color separated like a modern high grade. If that kind of thing bothers you, it might be a little underwhelming, but even an underwhelming kit can look great with the right application of skill. It's all up to you. I think this kit actually has some really nice detail going for it. There are a few different ways I nearly took the build. I almost applied a bunch of photo etch parts to it, but I had just done that on another build, so I wanted to just do my best to serve the design of the kit, really serve the series and pay homage to the awesome series it's from. There are some areas that I think my oil weathering was a bit out of scale. Some areas that I'm not exactly the most proud of, but it was all in all, it was a pretty good learning experience. I actually haven't really been doing a lot of weathering lately. I used to do a lot of weathering, and then I took a break from it and was just making clean kits for a while, and I don't know. For some reason I wanted to do that, and now I don't really find them that interesting again, and I'm back to wanting to weather everything. So I guess that's what we'll be doing. I have the Gerbera Tetra that I also want to paint, and I have that figure of Shimagera that I also want to paint, so we're gonna get to that eventually. I know I've covered a lot of mobile suits from Stardust Memory, and I'm gonna do more, so, but I will try to get some more variation in there as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this painted build. I know I did. I really like this mobile suit. Remember, if you want to get yourself some Gunpla, use the code LHR10 at bchobbies.com during checkout, and you can get yourself some Gunpla kits for 10% off. That's pretty sweet. I'll see you around. Be good to one another, and see you guys next time on Liam's Hobby Room.